Right now, somewhere above Manhattan, a teenager is sitting in a room covered in gold. Real 24-karat gold. He didn't earn it. He didn't choose it. He was born into it. And what he just did with that fortune will shock you. His name is Barron Trump. He's 19 years old and worth $150 million before he can even rent a car. He lives on 3 floors where Greek gods are painted on the ceiling, where marble floors cost more per square foot than most people earn in a year. But here's the part nobody talks about. He never wanted any of it. While you were picking a college dorm, Barron was choosing between the White House and a penthouse. While you got your first car, he was rejecting chauffeurs just to feel normal. Every day, the world watches him, waiting for him to fail, waiting for him to become another spoiled heir. But Barron just did something that made every billionaire's kid look like a joke, and the media is completely silent about it. In the next few minutes, you'll step inside the penthouse most people will never see. You'll see the cars that reveal who he really is, and the $4 million in donations nobody was supposed to find out about. This isn't about privilege. This is about a boy trapped in gold trying to break free. March 20th, 2006. A baby was born in a Manhattan hospital. His name was Barron Trump. While most babies came home to small nurseries, Barron came home to the 66th floor of Trump Tower. He rode up in a private elevator plated with real gold. Not gold paint, real gold. Before he could even walk, photographers were selling his pictures for thousands of dollars. Before he could talk, his name was already worth millions. He never had a choice. His crib sat in a penthouse worth over $100 million. The room he slept in was bigger than most people's entire homes. The day he was born, trust funds were set up to make him richer than 99% of the planet. But here's what nobody tells you. His mother, Melania, fought to keep him away from cameras. She refused to let him attend public events. She knew what gold cages do to children, and she was terrified. What happened next would shape him in ways nobody expected. While other kids played in parks, Barron Trump played on the 66th floor. He lived in a building where apartments sell for $30 million. His playground was a penthouse designed to look like the Palace of Versailles. Every room had marble floors and gold-plated furniture. Teachers said he was different, quiet, distant. He didn't talk much. He watched everything like he was studying the world through glass he couldn't break. Barron spoke Slovenian before English, his mother's language. He spent hours alone drawing and building things. Friends of the family said he seemed uncomfortable around the gold and chandeliers, like he knew it wasn't normal but didn't know what normal was supposed to feel like. At age 8, Barron asked his mother a question that shocked her. He wanted to know why other kids didn't have elevators in their houses. She didn't know how to answer, because how do you explain privilege to someone who's never seen anything else? And then one day, everything changed. The palace got even bigger. Because the boy who grew up in a golden tower was about to move into the most famous house in the world. Let's be clear about something. This isn't just wealth. This is luxury most people will never even imagine. Every ceiling is hand-painted by European artists. Every chandelier is imported crystal. Every inch screams power. The main salon has floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park. The dining room has a gold leaf glass table under a chandelier bigger than a car. There's a literal fountain in the living room. This is where Barron ate breakfast every morning. The penthouse cost over $100 million to build and decorate. The marble floors alone are worth more than most Americans will earn in their entire lives. The designer, Angelo Donghia, created it to look like Louis XIV's palace, because subtlety was never the point. But here's what people who visited say. Barron barely noticed any of it. He'd walk past priceless sculptures like they were cheap furniture. Because when you're raised in a museum, you stop seeing the art. So when that penthouse became too small and the world came knocking, where does a boy like that go? The answer is the one place even more suffocating than gold. November 2016. Barron Trump was 10 years old when his father won the presidency. Overnight, his private life became a global reality show he never auditioned for. Then his mother made a shocking decision. She refused to move to Washington for 6 months. She kept Barron in New York, in Trump Tower, finishing school while the entire country criticized her for it. Those 6 months cost taxpayers millions in security. But Melania didn't care. She said one thing: he's my son first. He's the president's son second. That choice saved him, but it also marked him. When they finally moved to the White House in June 2017, Barron became the first boy to live there since JFK Jr. in the 1960s. But unlike JFK Jr., Barron didn't smile for cameras. He looked trapped. Because living in the White House isn't about power. It's a prison where the whole world watches you grow up, where every mistake is judged, where privacy doesn't exist. And for a boy who already felt uncomfortable in gold, this was something far worse. Imagine being 11 years old and every time you leave your room, Secret Service agents follow you. Every time you go online, the world mocks your height, your clothes, your face. Barron didn't just live in the White House, he survived it. While his father fought political wars, Barron fought to stay invisible. Teachers said he barely spoke at school. Friends were nearly impossible to make. His room overlooked the South Lawn, the same view every president's child has seen. But while others played there, Barron stayed inside, alone, studying, building models, staying quiet. Former staff said something that broke hearts. Barron once asked his mother if they could move back to New York. She cried because she knew they couldn't. The gold cage had just become a white one. But when the presidency finally ended, Barron didn't run to freedom. He ran back to the only place that ever felt like his. And that choice reveals everything about who he was becoming. Because freedom wasn't about escaping the gold. It was about learning to live with it. January 2021. The Trumps moved to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. But when Barron turned 18 and enrolled at NYU, he made a decision that shocked everyone. He moved back to Trump Tower, alone. Not because he loved the gold, but because it was the only place that felt like home. The marble halls weren't luxury anymore. They were memory, safety, a place where he didn't have to explain himself. Most NYU students live in dorms that cost $20,000 a year. Barron commutes from a $100 million penthouse, but he doesn't brag. He doesn't post it online. He keeps it silent. And then he did something nobody expected. He started advising his father on media strategy. He convinced Trump to appear on podcasts like Bussin' with the Boys and Adin Ross, connecting the Trump brand to Gen Z. The quiet Heir was becoming a strategist. But strategy and gold don't make you free. Freedom comes from the road, and Barron's first real taste of it came with 4 wheels and a choice that stunned his family. For 18 years, Barron rode in an $80,000 armored Chevrolet Suburban. Bulletproof glass, leather seats, a driver who worked for the Secret Service. He never touched the steering wheel. Then one day, he bought his own car. Not a Lamborghini, not a Ferrari. A $23,000 blue Nissan Sentra with cloth seats and a scratched bumper. That Nissan has 149 horsepower. It's slower than most SUVs. It's basic. It's boring. And Barron drove it himself. No chauffeur, no bodyguards, just him and the road. His security team reportedly begged him not to. Too dangerous, too exposed. But Barron refused. Because for the first time in his life, he could go somewhere without permission. That car wasn't just transportation, it was rebellion. And maybe that rebellion came from finally understanding something most heirs never learn. That all the money in the world means nothing if you can't control your own life. Or give it away, because what Barron did next shocked even the people closest to him. Let's talk about the number nobody wants to say out loud. Barron Trump, at 19 years old, is worth $150 million. He's richer than most people will ever be, and he didn't lift a finger to earn it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That money came from trust funds set up the day he was born. Real estate dividends, stock portfolios, brand licensing deals tied to his face, his name, his existence. Every year, Barron earns passive income from Trump Organization properties, hotels, golf courses, licensing deals. His net worth grows while he sleeps, and legally there's nothing he can do to stop it. But what he can control is what he does with it. And in 2023, Barron quietly did something that made every billionaire heir look selfish. He gave away millions and told almost no one. Not for publicity, not for headlines, just because he could. Because the real story isn't how much he has. It's what he did when he realized how much he didn't need. What happened next would redefine what it means to be born into privilege. 2023. While other rich kids posted on Instagram, Barron Trump launched something different. The Barron Trump Youth Initiative. He pledged $2 million of his own money to fund education and mental health programs for low-income kids. No press conference, no publicity team, no photo ops, just scholarships, school supplies, and online learning access. quietly delivered to over 500 students who never knew his name was attached. In 2024, he donated another $1.2 million to hurricane relief and $800,000 to save the children. His contributions helped deliver over 100,000 meals to refugee families. Total donations, over $4 million before age 20. When reporters asked why he stayed silent, a family friend said something powerful. He doesn't want credit, he wants change. Because Barron finally understood what the gold elevator never taught him. That privilege without purpose is just decoration. That wealth means nothing if it doesn't help someone. And that the real measure of a man isn't what he owns, it's what he gives. So who is Barron Trump now? A boy raised in gold who finally learned to see past it. Today, Barron Trump is 19. He studies business at NYU. He commutes from a penthouse worth more than entire companies, and he's quietly becoming someone nobody expected. Friends say he's different now, more focused, more deliberate. He listens more than he talks. He gives more than he takes. And he's slowly realizing that the Trump name doesn't have to define him. It can be redefined by him. He still visits Mar-a-Lago on weekends. He still eats breakfast in a gold-trimmed dining room. But he also drives a $23,000 Nissan and donates millions in silence. He's living between two worlds and choosing the better parts of both. The boy who grew up in a golden cage isn't trying to escape anymore. He's learning to unlock it from the inside. And that's more powerful than any inheritance. Because the real question isn't what Barron Trump has, it's what he'll do with it. And the world is about to find out exactly what that means. Because sometimes the biggest rebellions happen in complete silence. Barron Trump's life isn't a fairy tale. It's a test. A test of whether you can grow up surrounded by gold and still choose substance. Whether you can inherit $150 million and still find purpose. Whether you can carry the heaviest name in America and still become your own person. And he's passing that test. What looks like endless privilege is actually endless pressure. What looks like freedom is actually a cage. And Barron's greatest rebellion isn't against his family. It's against the world's expectation that he'll waste it all. Here's what most people don't understand. Legacy isn't what you're born into. It's what you build when no one's forcing you to. And Barron is proving that the hardest kind of power isn't loud. It's quiet, deliberate, and earned through action, not inheritance. From the golden elevator of childhood to the silent donations of adulthood, Barron Trump is showing the world something important. Growing up in a palace doesn't mean you have to become a king. Sometimes it means becoming something better, a human being who understands what actually matters. The 19-year-old sitting in that gold-covered penthouse isn't who you think he is. He's not the spoiled heir. He's not the next Trump tyrant. He's a boy who was born into power and is quietly learning to use it the right way. And that's more shocking than any penthouse tour could ever be, because maybe that's the most dangerous kind of heir. The one who learned early that gold can't buy identity, privilege can't buy respect, and a name can't buy a soul. Barron Trump is writing his own story, and it's just beginning. Barron Trump's story is still being written, but every chapter so far has proven one thing. He refuses to be what the world expects. He's choosing silence over spectacle, purpose over privilege, and quiet power over loud wealth. You just stepped inside a world most people will never see and discovered that the boy in the golden tower isn't trapped anymore. He's walking out, one choice at a time. If this story shocked you, destroy that like button right now. If you want more untold stories about heirs, power, and the people rewriting their own legacies, subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next will blow your mind. Drop a comment right now. Do you think Barron Trump will escape his family's shadow? Or will the Trump name follow him forever? And would you trade places with him for $150 million? Let's talk.